This video is for all of you out there that's running a B2B SaaS and you're already making some money with it. You did some SEO, you did some content, you got some clients via referral, but you still didn't get how to scale it, and you're looking how to find the right way to get qualified leads in scale in the long term in a profitable way, right? So in this video, you're gonna learn how to do it and learn what you must be doing wrong and what most people do wrong so you don't commit the same mistakes, and the right way that made me to get great results for the more than 15 B2B SaaS clients that I've been working with, right? So let's dive in and let's learn how you can apply to your SaaS as well. Let's start this video by showing you what most people make wrong. You maybe did it wrong in the past as well, but you can be sure that you will not commit the same mistakes again, or not commit the same mistakes that most people do, right? What most people do before running any ads is they don't understand where the audience actually are in the funnel process, right? And the way that I like to divide it is in 5 layers. First layer is when people are unaware of the problem, right? So they don't know they have a problem, right? So you need to show them they have a problem by content and showing some way that they have a problem. This is the lead that's the most difficult to get because they actually don't know they have a problem at all. So you need to show them they have a problem before you even sell to them, right? And then we have the second one, that they are aware of the problem, but they are not aware of the solution out there. They are not aware there is a solution out there. So you need to educate them about the solution. You don't need to educate them about the problem. They already know that. So for example, you're here in this video because you want to learn how to get qualified leads, right? So you already know that you have this problem, but you don't know how to do it, right? And that is the layer. And you have P2, where people are aware of the solution, but they are not aware of your product, right? They are aware there is a solution out there, but they are not aware there is a SaaS like yours that have a specific product that can help them. And here in this layer, they are aware of the problem, they are aware of the solution, and they already know you. And in this layer, they know you and just need a nudge to make the buy movement, right? So in all of these places, you need to sell differently, right? So you don't run ads for all just kind of people in the same way. You need to divide it, right? So it's what most of people do wrong before even start paid ads. And most of the people, they will optimize for traffic or cheap leads, right? I'm gonna throw it in the next steps, and this is one of the most common mistakes, and it's actually the most difficult to fix, but I'm gonna teach you how to fix. It's not easy to get it, because you're gonna say to LinkedIn, Google, Meta, you want leads and you want the best leads, but they not get it if you don't show them what is the right type of leads that you want, right? So most of you will also stop the campaigns too early. What happens is, if you have a product that costs $100, you need to spend at least $100 to actually validate a funnel, right? And I would say, like, before, like, let's spend at least five times this money to actually validate a funnel, right? Because you need to test it. If a lead is important to you, like $100, and I'm saying $100 1 month, right? If you have a SaaS, it's a subscription. $100 is 1 month, and like your let's say your churn is in 6 months, right? So you get $600 from it. You need to spend at least $2,000 to validate a funnel, right? If not, you are not validating anything, right? You have as an expensive, you're gonna get a lot of money, and you need to be able to actually put some money to test the campaign, right? So don't stop the campaigns too early, because actually the lead that we're gonna convert is actually coming yet, right? And also sometimes what happens is that a SaaS, they will never buy in the first touch point, or you have a sales cycles that is 1 month, 3 months, right? So you cannot stop a campaign before the 3rd month, right? And also what happens is that if you have a campaign that's running for the first month and your sales cycle is 3 months, you need to retarget this guy, right? You need to nurture him. And it takes 3 months to him to actually buy, right? So you need to keep the campaign running for at least 3 months. I'm not saying that that you're gonna need to spend a lot of money. You can actually start testing with a small budget. I'm gonna teach you how to do that, but do not stop the campaign too early, right? Give time and give the right budget to the ads platform to actually work for you, right? They don't match the ads with the landing page, right? So sometimes they have ads that talk about something and they have a generic landing page because they didn't want to put some time to improve the landing page. And the landing page is very important. It's actually one of your conversion layers. It's not only the ads that you need to think about, you also need to think about the landing page, right? And they don't all optimize for their audience correctly. I'm gonna show you how to do it. And where this system that I'm gonna show you works. It works on Meta ads, it works on LinkedIn ads, it works on Google ads, Reddit ads, X ads, and wherever you are going to advertise or produce content, right? It doesn't work only for ads, but also work for any type of content that you're gonna produce. So here is the playbook, right? How to get qualified leads running ads campaigns. First thing that you need to understand is you need to do creative testing. Creative is your most important thing in your ads campaigns, right? The creative is the part where you actually convince someone to buy and get their attention, right? So the way that started is test at least 10 ads for your first campaign, right? Of course, I'm gonna say about Meta, Google, Reddit, X, where you can actually test it. But if we're talking about LinkedIn, you can test a little bit less because it's much more expensive. But testing is very important, right? So you're gonna test it and you're gonna create a structure of a campaign that actually is a testing structure, right? So you won't put all the ads in the same ad set. You're gonna divide it in different ad sets. So you can actually put the same amount of budget in each ad and actually see which one is performing better, right? And add at least 5 new ads every week, right? So you first started the 10 first ads, you see which ones are working better, you see what are the angles that are winning, and you test 5 new ads every new week based on the winners, right? You start learning with the first ads, and then you start implementing new ads to work with it. So now what's important for the ads? You need to focus 98% of your time in the hook, right? In the hook of the ad copy. There is a difference here, right? The creative is actually the image and the video that you're gonna make, right? It's where most of the people will put attention before clicking your ad, right? And the ad copy is actually the text that are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, that will be the copy there. It doesn't matter too much because people will actually see the creative more. What matters here is the hook, right? How you can actually hook them. For Google would be the headlines, right? How you can create great headlines that hook the people and make them click, right? The same for the Meta ads and LinkedIn ads, it applies the same idea. Ad copy is not that important anymore. What's most important to actually get the clicks are the creatives, right? And the secret to performer better than others is this one. Add an audience and I speak aloud. What's an audience and I speak aloud is you're basically gonna say before your ads is for this type of audience, right? So if you have a video, you're gonna say, this video is specifically for this kind of people. The same I did in the beginning of this video, right? I said, if you are running a B2B SaaS, so I already positioned that I'm talking with you specifically, right? You need to do the same in your ads. So not all the platforms work like that, but Meta is already very intelligent on that. They're gonna hear what you're saying and they're gonna position your ads for the right audience, right? So you don't need to overthink about your audience there. You just say for this type of audience, and Meta will understand and reposition for this kind of guys, right? And it works for the creators statics or videos, right? The same. And also in the ad copy, you do the same. It will help the ad platforms to optimize the campaigns and will only hook the right people, right? So let's say you're advertising for a specific kind of lawyers, right? You don't want to say, you don't want to make an ad that any lawyer will click. You want to optimize only for plaintiff attorneys, let's say. So this is very important, right? And that's the secret to actually get ads that perform and get the right click and will get you the right leads, right? The campaign structure. You have two different campaign structure. You have the validated campaigns that you can just go with your one main campaign and focusing on putting all your ads here. And the creative testing campaign that I set to you is one ad per ad set. So you only work with the budget for just one ad per ad set, so you know exactly that the budget is going for the ad for testing, right? And we have the landing page, and that's very important as well, because what most of you will do is you're gonna run the ads for a default landing page with a lot of jargon, a lot of branding positioning, and you want to convert here. You don't want to just do branding. And you need a one clear CTA, right? And you must have a no-brainer next step. What I mean by no-brainer next step, again, as I explained it here to you, you have people that are in different places in the funnel, right? So maybe they are just starting, they just meet you, right? You don't want to make people that just met you to buy from you, right? They won't buy your SaaS in your first date, right? They want to marry with you in your first date. So let's say you want to sell them an offer that costs them $200 per month. They won't buy from you in the first date, right? So you need to create a no-brainer next step. Let's say you want to book an audit, want to book a demo with them, right? They like if they are the minimum busy possible, if they're as minimal busy as possible, right? They won't go to a 30 minutes call with you to see a demo of your platform if they are not bought yet, right? So the next step needs to be a no-brainer. If it's not a no-brainer in your landing page, you should rewrite your offer for the landing page, right? So for the cold people that they don't know about your SaaS yet, it shouldn't send directly to a demo. It shouldn't send directly to buy your product. It should be a no-brainer. It should be a free trial. It should be a freemium. It should be something like that. Or if you can increase the value perceived a lot, you can drive directly to a demo or directly to buy from you, right? And how you increase this perceived value? Your ads need to be doing all the work, or you need to be doing a retargeting campaign, right? And this is the most important step of the whole funnel. I left it for the end, is the qualification funnel, right? And why it's the most important step of the whole funnel? Because if a lead is not qualified, it will break your campaigns, right? So when you create a campaign and you optimize, and I said to you here to also include the callouts, right? Because people will click even though they are not your ISP, right? Even though they are not your audience. They will click and they will convert because the offer sometimes works for both of them, right? Let's say you have an SEO SaaS, right? You work with SEO agencies and companies doing SEO. You have small businesses owners like that wants to start doing SEO, right? but they probably not buy $100 subscription, right? So this is one kind of lead. And we have the other kind of lead that are big companies that have more than 100 employees, right? So you want to get these kind of companies that have more than 100 employees that will be able to pay you $1,000 per month on your solution, and not the broke guy that's just starting, right? And that's okay. It's okay to get the broken guy as well, but you don't want to optimize your campaigns for that, right? So you're gonna create a quiz funnel that will qualify them. So for example, here I gave you an example of what would be a qualified lead by headcount, right? So the guy that's just starting out is just him, right? So 1 to 5 headcount. The guy that's already making and running a big business, the headcount is about 100, 500 people, right? So you add these questions in the funnel, and you just give the information to any platform that you're running your ads that is your lead, right? So if someone puts the information that they have a headcount between 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 anyways, like it's just an example, you don't send this information that it was a lead. Even though it was a lead for you, you don't send this information to the platform. And what the platform will do is they were gonna ignore them completely, and they were gonna focus only on the people that have more headcount. So before, you had a campaign that was working for anyone, right? So you were optimizing for the small businesses and also the big businesses, right? But the small businesses usually cost much less to acquire than the big business. And when you say to the ads platforms that you want the cheapest leads possible, and they're gonna optimize for it, they're gonna optimize for the small businesses. And that's not what you want, because that's not the type of business that makes you more money, right? So you ignore them completely, even though you're gonna continue getting some of them, and you focus only on giving the tracking to the big ones. Meta or any platform will start optimizing only for this kind of leads, and your campaign will run in the long term, acquiring only the right leads, right? So your cost per lead will be more expensive, but your client acquisition cost will be much cheaper, right? That's the idea, guys. And that's the most important step in the whole thing, right? And this is an example of what would be a quiz question, right? This is a client of mine. It's working pretty good, the funnel that we built for him. But basically, the question is, what best describes your role? Founder, owner, e-commerce manager, growth marketing lead, SEO paid media lead, or I don't run a Shopify store. If they click here, they are not qualified at all. If they are not qualified, okay, they still can go through the funnel, right? But the ad platform will not count them as a lead, and they will not, because they wouldn't buy anyway, right? So we don't count them as a lead for the ads platform, and the ads platform start optimizing for these kind of guys, right? I can go even further here and ask what are their revenue, what are the red count, and anyways, right? So that's it. If you have questions, please send it below. But if you want to go even further, I'm opening my schedule to help some of you guys in an audit that I'm gonna audit your whole funnel, your whole paid ads, even before you even start, or if you're already running it. And I'm gonna tell you exactly where you should be improving it and how you could actually get results from any paid ads strategy that you are running right now, right? So you don't do it wrong, you don't burn money, and you do it in the right way and start getting qualified leads for the long term for your SaaS, right?